The views and opinions expressed in this podcast by the host and or the guest do not necessarily reflect the views of the host and or Paranormal Buzz Radio and or its sponsors. Use of any material produced by Paranormal Buzz Radio without express written consent is prohibited. Paranormal Buzz Radio will not be held responsible for you holding your knees, crying, and rocking in a corner in a puddle of your own urine, or being beheaded by a group of children in a cornfield. In fact, if you come across a group of children in a cornfield, we promise to make fun of you as you run away screaming in terror. Listener discretion is advised. You are now entering the all-consuming realm of Shay's Paranormal Chat, where the things that are better left unsaid are actually said.
Shut up and sit down.
You're listening to Shay's Paranormal Chat. Paranormal podcasting done Shay's way. Tons of fun.
Dude, seriously?
A bit sarcastic.
Hashtag investigator, not hunter.
But always real.
Hashtag data, not evidence.
Don't get your panties in a twist.
Oh my god, really?
This is real, raw conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Shay's Paranormal Chat, or otherwise known as Shay's Shit Show. So I was rushing to share everything, guys, and I just shared the wrong show. We are on the right show. I just happened to share the wrong show. So, I'm trying to get back in there. I'm telling you, if it's not one thing, it's another. So we might get some unexpected guests. They're going to think Charlotte's back on this week, man.
Surprise!
Surprise! Okay, everybody.
Well, you know, it's all
welcome. Good. You have, of course, me. We have beautiful Kelly McCarville. We have the awesome and just as beautiful Briity tonight. How you guys doing?
Doing good.
Briity.
I said I was doing good.
I'm here. I'm like, wait, I only heard one voice.
We are on the ball.
Hey, I put right in the thing, come have some fun with us, because that's how this show's going to go.
What I was saying, too, when I was sharing stuff. I'm like, come hang out with us. Come on.
Yeah, because I haven't messed up in a couple weeks, so I'm due.
My Facebook has gone all sorts of stupid, so I don't know if that's shared or not. So, yeah,
that's
all
the
good.
problem I had. That's exactly what I had. But we're all podcast hosts here, so we all get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, now I'm sharing the right one. Yeah.
Yep.
So, for anybody listening that doesn't already know, which most of everybody probably in this chat already knows, which I haven't even got to yet. I said hi real quick. We have Briity from the network on tonight, and we have been trying to do this. She was planned to co-host The Skeptic and Psychic with me the beginning of December, I think it was, and she was covering for Jen, and then I broke my tooth and got a huge abscess, and last minute, Benji filled in for me, so it was Benji and Briity on Shay's The Skeptic and the Psychic, so we've been trying.
Yeah, yep. It just seems every other time hasn't quite worked out. So
yeah, so we'll make up for it tonight. Yeah, we'll make up for the trouble tonight. There we go. Oh, it keeps skipping out. Let's see. I'm gonna do some shout outs so Benji can listen. Skype was giving me a really hard time, so it could be Skype. But I'll give some shout outs and Benji can let us know if it's still skipping out. We have Miss Jen B, we have Kelly, we have Briity, we have Mama Pat, we have Wolf, aka Adam, we have Miss Kim, we have Matthew, we have Benji, of course, and we have me. I think I'm in there.
Yeah, somewhere.
somewhere, you know. I never know.
You know, that person.
All right, so Kim's saying it's good there, so hopefully that's good.
It might just be him then.
Mm. So, okay. All right, I'm putting my phone down. So,
We'll see.
Briity,
It is what it is.
It is. You consider yourself psychic intuitive, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, how is that different than a psychic medium in your eyes?
I was going to say, it depends who you ask.
That's why I always start with that. Yeah.
Yep. I mean, I don't feel as in tune as like she is. I mean, she can just pull things right out of the air. Mine, I feel more like gut feelings. I feel I have to really work on it to really tap in. Sometimes it just comes in. But most of the time it's, I get a feeling, or if I meditate on something, then things come in. My guides talk to me almost all the time. But as far as what the generic psychic medium is that would speak to other people's guides or loved ones that have passed, I'm not as fluent with that, I guess.
I get that. I get what you're saying. So basically you decided to call yourself the next tier down. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Right.
I didn't know how to word it, and it's you, so I'm going to be like really flip, you know.
That's exactly how I kind of put it, because I didn't want people to be like, whoever. No, I don't. Most of the time they come to me, I don't seek anybody out.
Right. Yeah. And
it's very few and in between. Most of the time it's my guides tell me something that's coming through. So
a medium. So you both can jump in here, because here we go. I don't know if I've ever asked this question. So if you're a psychic medium, all right, let's leave the psychic out. If you're a medium, you talk to dead people. What are you if it's just your guides? Are you still a medium or intuitive, as you say?
I don't know. I say intuitive. And I think I say because it is still a medium, because the medium is the person that's literally what the communication is coming through. I call myself the intuitive more so I don't get that connotation that people think that I talk to all spirits. Okay. Because that's what everybody automatically thinks it is that they.
Yep. And that's typically the definition is, if you're a medium, you can speak to spirits who have passed. That's typically the definition or the belief of what a medium is. So
in most spirit guides, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm really asking you, because I really don't know. Spirit guides typically are not dead people. They can be, but they're not typically.
Right. They can be. They're not typically. Otherwise, they're like, they've had so many lives that's kind of where they've ascended to, is to.
Yeah. And that's what I was going to say too, is it's like they've graduated to the next level. Mm-hmm. And once they gravitate, I'm mixing words here. Once they graduate to that next level, they don't really remember their human lives, because it's not technically important anymore.
Yeah.
And our spirit guides, and you guys can have different opinions. I love all opinions. Our spirit guides normally, I hear all different things. You know how I word things. I word things so bad.
Yeah, no, you're fine.
Spirit guides, I hear that if like your father is your spirit guide, it's usually a temporary thing. He's there to help you, and then he passes on. It's not necessarily one of the main ones. Is that I heard that recently, and I was kind of like scratching my head because I didn't understand.
See, I don't call those spirit guides though. That's just your family.
Okay.
They're just popping in to kind of help you through a hump you're going through. A spirit guide is someone that is spiritually connected to you from when you're born, or your soul is created, however you want to put it. And they're bound to you. It just depends on, sometimes some connections are easier to get than others.
Right. I would look more as your family. I mean, I think you've heard me talk before, Shay, about how there's your spirit guide and there's reserves that come in when there's things that are going on that you need more than your primary. I would almost look at your family kind of as your reserves, but they're still not in that spirit guide role because they haven't ascended to that level yet.
Right. Yep. I agree.
So spirit guides, even if they were alive normally, they are not recently passed. They've been around for a while.
Well, and even then, it depends on how many lives that soul had lived. I mean,
now we're talking above my pay grade. No, go on. Sorry.
We're getting deep now because none of my guides have said I've lived so many different lives. You know, it just I get kind of like little hints. Most of them are, you know, like I've probably lived a past life with like Haruko. I lived a past life at some point in time with her. I don't know when it was. It was a long ass time ago. That's all that I know. And she was more of a brand new spirit guide, so I was kind of her training person or whatever. She still hangs around though. But
you have to keep in mind too that they don't remember their past lives, so they may not be able to tell us how long ago they've passed away or how many lives they've had, because again, once they ascend to that level, it's like that information becomes like they've wiped the chalkboard. Everything's gone. Yeah. It's pretty rare that they can remember any parts of it, and that's only if that information's given to them, is kind of what has been explained to me, at least.
Important enough to
Yeah. Well, and I've only ever met, and I don't know about you, Briity, but it'd be interesting to see. I've only ever met one person who actually was in that spirit guide role, who had been many, many generations removed, related to the person that they were assigned to. And it was almost like it was just a happy coincidence. Oh. And they were allowed to remember that because the person had asked me, well, is my spirit guide a family member? Mm-hmm. And we were given the information, well, yes, but it was so many generations ago that it's irrelevant. And
okay.
But I've only ever once encountered that.
Yeah, I never had. That's interesting.
It was weird, but I don't know that it really lended a whole lot to why they were that person's spirit guide. But anyways.
Yeah. Learning everything new every day. Mm-hmm. It's a wonderful thing about all this.
That's me. That's why I like doing this, you know. Mm-hmm. I'm by far not a professional podcast host, though I play one on the radio. But I do this to learn and talk to people and, you know, get opinions and get different stories and different angles. So I love doing this.
Yeah.
I lost where I was going with that, which is nothing.
I believe a lot. I mean, when we're talking spirit guides and stuff, there's so many different kinds out there. I know of two of them that apparently I had known in past, because they've told me that, and our souls were connected somehow. There are two that they just kind of showed up, and I know nothing. I know very little about them. They just kind of pop in when they're needed, and then they go. So
I was listening, but Mama Pat just said, "Shit," and because it's cheaper than therapy, right? Hell yeah!
Oh yeah, we gotta find stuff that's always cheaper than therapy.
Yeah,
pretty much everything,
right? So, do you guys know? Now I'm treating Kelly like she's a guest too, but since we're on this subject, do you guys know how many spirit guides you have on a regular basis? I know you guys have the ones that come in and out and stuff, but on a regular basis, do you know?
I have two that are pretty regular. Yeah. That's about it. The other two just kind of come in when I really need some help. I'll call on them and they'll come in and they'll help me or whatever. Or when I know that they're there, I'm like, shit's about to go down.
Yeah.
We need a bulk up. Yeah.
How about you, Kelly? Do you know?
I think what's been explained to me is that for the most part, everybody has their one primary. But I have seen that people who tend to tap into their intuition and stuff more will have more than one that is around a lot. And I'm assuming that's because we're walking in realms that maybe we need a little extra guidance and protection. But there's no defined number of how many a person can have, because again, those reserves will come in when they're needed. But everybody has one primary, like, lead teacher, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does. It does to me. How do you, I've asked Kelly this before, so I'm curious to see, how do you balance your, we'll call it intuition for you, your intuition with paranormal investigating with science, or somewhat science, tools, and how do you balance that? Because you are a paranormal investigator also.
Yes. Yep, I am. And it really depends on the investigation, because sometimes I'll just feel the need to just kind of walk blindly by myself and put anything. But I like to have something at least with me to kind of validate, or at least somebody that has equipment to validate what I'm feeling or what I think I'm getting. Most of the time it's Benji that's with me. He's usually got a camera or a spirit box or something, so I can be like, I'm feeling this. This is just it. It really is hitting home here. Or I might not have any explanation, and then all of a sudden I'll be talking about it to someone, and then they'll say, "Oh yeah, well this happened. It's in this book or whatever," and I'll be like, "Well, holy shit, okay, so that did happen."
Do you do that because as a intuitive? Sorry if I say it wrong. As an intuitive, do you do it to boost, like, because even if you think you're a great medium, great intuitive, great psychic, it must be good to get that reassurance, or do you do it more for other people, or both?
It does a little bit of both. I mean, like I said, normally when I go into an investigation, that's when I open myself up the most. So then that's where I almost am kind of like free for all. If you want to come here, I obviously, for the most part, protect myself against something evil, unless that's the reason why I'm going in, is they say, "Hey, we need help with this." So I'll go in like that. But it helps me to know that I'm not just crazy. We've done investigations where I've said things have happened, and I wouldn't even hear anything until all of a sudden, like, this was an example, was we did a house, and I was talking about things about like a car accident and stuff like that, and I never heard anything back. And then all of a sudden at work, I'm working with this girl, and her grandmother owned the house, and there was a car accident and everything. So it kind of just, it hits me like that. And it's like, oh, holy crap, so then I was able to kind of help her in that aspect and say, well, from what I have gathered, everything's, fine now. They're just still hanging out.
Do you clear energy?
Yes.
All right, so how do you determine if it's just a spirit that's been there and it doesn't harm, you don't go in and just because people want it gone. Do you, is there certain criteria that makes you say, okay, this is what needs to be done?
Usually, if there's children involved, that makes it all the much more sensitive to me. My ear's falling out.
You hate it when that happens.
Explain that.
My elf ear's falling off. If there's children involved there, that's that much more sensitive. And if it's something that, like, I cannot go there myself, I have sent my primary guide down there and said, hey, there's kids that need it. Yep, there was my ear again. I'm just going to lose this one. And hey, they need some clearing or reassurance down there, and he's gone down there and done that. There's been houses I've cleared energy, but if the spirit that's there isn't harming anyone, they're just there. I just tell them, hey, if you don't like it, you need to tell them that this is your space and you need to leave. Because I tell them I respect the dead in that aspect, that that they can be there for the most part.
Yeah.
And I think that that's important for people to remember, is that you can't go in and tell, you can, but should you go in and tell a spirit, leave, because
Right.
they may be there because it's their home too. And if they're not causing any harm, then I don't want to, how would you react if you're just minding your own business and someone walks in and says, get out? Well, whoa, hang on. Now I'm mad.
I wasn't doing anything then. Now maybe I can do something.
Now I'm going to stomp around and throw things. So,
right. Where it's like maybe they're just hearing footsteps down the hall and it freaks them out, and most of the time in my experience, if they just talk to them and say, hey, you're freaking us out, they kind of realize then, oh, well, I'm sorry. And
and sometimes it's just that conversation is what has to happen is you talk to the family to say, this is who's here. They're not dangerous. But you talk to the spirit, too, to say, look, there's a family here. And you're scaring the crap out of them. You really need to try to, I mean, the same as you'd walk into two families that are living in a house together and say, okay, family meeting, sit down, let's talk about getting along.
Yes, exactly.
You need to educate both sides. I think educating somebody that's having, as a paranormal investigator, I'm not, I don't do what you guys do, but education is key. And there's spirits all around us, whether you know it, whether they are intelligent, whether they're not intelligent. There's activity around us. And it's not fair for us just to go in and be like, hey, you've been here thousands of years and force you to leave.
Well, and a lot of people, when they think of a haunted house, they automatically think it has to be evil. It's got to be. And,
I wonder why they think that.
They automatically think because, and a lot of that, too, isn't even so much, the media and everything. It's, my growing up, it was religion. Said anything that was paranormal had to be, the devil's work. So when I started, really getting involved in this stuff, it really had me questioning a lot. And then that's when I started doing the meditations and connecting with my guides and saying, not every situation is the same.
I hear that from a lot of Christians, even a lot of Catholics say that, but I grew up Catholic, Roman Catholic. My grandmother was very strict, and it was not like that in our house, and I don't remember ever being taught that, but I do hear it a lot, and because I hear people hate on Catholics, and they'll make jokes to me, and I'm like, back up, I am a Catholic.
Right. Well, and it's funny, because my mother grew up Catholic, and she grows up with the full belief of all this and whatnot, where my dad, he grew up Lutheran, and I grew up Lutheran, where if you poke it, you're good. Something bad's going to happen. You're dealing with the dark arts or whatever, and it turns you off to it. I mean, I can't talk to him about paranormal investigating.
Yeah.
I mean, he'll poke fun of us for watching the shows. Or if we say, hey, we went to this place, God, what was it? He said, I mean, he'll do it in good, to be funny. I said something about how we were going somewhere, and he's like, well, it better be dark because otherwise you can't do anything. Just the random stuff like that. But if I sit down and try and have a serious conversation with him, my sister hasn't learned you don't talk to dad about certain things. But, she'll sit there and she'll like, well, this, and this, and this. And he'll just be like, shut up, I'm your dad and I'm right.
We had a question in chat. I don't know if you saw it while you were going through, but Matt is asking, is there a difference between spirit guides and a guardian angel?
I do believe that that's also kind of up for debate on what your personal beliefs are. I think guardian angels are, I don't know, I guess. I've never been asked that. But I don't know what I personally believe on that, but I've heard people, say that, yes, the spirit guides are your guardian angels or whatever. But I've also heard that the guardian angels are literally just spirits that have come across you and they help you out. I don't know my personal opinion on that. Do you have one, Kelly?
Yeah. And I should say, and anybody who's ever listened to me talk, you've heard me say this before, everything that I'm sharing, guys, is my truth, my understanding, what's been explained to me. It doesn't mean that I'm trying to question or change anybody's opinion on what their beliefs and their truths are. So my understanding is that Sorry, my computer is not plugged in, and I thought it was, and it's about to die. My understanding is like guardian angels are kind of the next level above spirit guide. So it's spirits that are reincarnated. Once you graduate from that, you go to be a spirit guide. Once you graduate from that, you become a guardian angel.
Oh.
And what's been explained to me is the difference is the spirit guides are assigned to a person, and guardian angels, kind of like you were saying, Brittany, is that they go where they're needed for that time, and then they move on.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just my truth.
And that makes sense to me, because
to me too.
Yeah, none of my guides have ever said, hey, I'm your guardian angel. I've always been like, I'm your guide. What's up? And but that's a good question. I've never even thought to ask anything like that. So
I've gotten many different answers. I've never asked it on a show because sometimes it gets debated, but this is a good show to bring it out on with you guys. No, we got a big question.
Yep.
But yeah, that makes sense to me because I think of angels as a different level. Like I think a ghost is one thing, spirits as another, angels as another. So that makes sense with guardian angels and I forget the word. Spirit guides. My phone just shut off. We have a long question, and as soon as here we go, it's coming back on.
Do you want me to do it?
No, I got it right here.
Yeah.
Kim's asking, how do you help a person out that voices and feelings? She walks in a place and everything is coming at her and talking to her all at once. We went to Malvern Manor knowing nothing about Rosie. Couldn't get her out of her head, and then talked to Josh the next day, and she freaked out because she was picking up on Rosie. How do you Kim, are you asking how do you help someone kind of through that?
Yeah, I think she's asking for a third person. Like she's saying, how do I help somebody that's doing this is what I got it. Is what I'm...
I've had that happen. A lot of times at Farrar, I've gone in and all of a sudden I feel very overwhelmed. And I pick up on a lot of different things. And what helps me is usually I have someone there that's there to ground me, and that's usually Benji, or I have another group, usually of the Moth team, hanging out with me. And one of the first things they usually do is they pull me outside to ground myself, and that's just taking deep breaths, feeling the earth. Take off your shoes if you can, if it's not winter like it is now. Ground yourself, kind of get your bearings back, and then really just concentrate on what you want to focus on. That's what I've done, and it's worked for me. When you go in there and your head's swimming with a million different things. Yes, Benji, there it is. I dropped it. Not even half an hour in.
Well, and I think, too, kind of something Britt said earlier, tell them to leave you alone. If it's getting to be overwhelming, which it absolutely can get to be overwhelming at times, tell them, this is too much and I need you to step back. I need you to pull your energy back. And most of the time, they will.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, just remember you're talking to a person. They're not, physically there, but you're still talking with a person. And just imagine they've had all these groups of people walking through and they can't hear them. And then they realize you can hear them. Of course, if you walked into a place and nobody was listening to you, but one person did, you'd be getting that person's attention. You'd be like, holy shit, you could talk to me. I'm going to tell you about this and this and this and this. Can you help me with this? I need to tell this person that, try and get it all out there as quickly as they can.
Well, and it may not even be that they're trying. It may be that you're just more sensitive to the energy, so it's affecting you more, and they don't even realize they're doing anything different.
Yeah.
I've heard it explained like picture, metaphorically here, guys. Picture a pitch black room, and you can't see anything, and all of a sudden you see a tiny light, and you're going to go towards that light. So you're drawn to it. It's like a beacon, like, like, okay, yeah. So let's go there. Let's talk to this person to say,
Have you ever been told you sparkle, Britt?
No, I have not.
They tell me that. Well, you sparkle.
Oh.
Okay. And all that ever comes to mind then is after Twilight came out, now I think I'm a vampire.
Oh, that's why we never see you in the light. Yeah.
Right?
Sunlight. That's why I'm in the basement. I was
Can't shine a light directly on me. It gets uncomfortable. It's like a disco ball.
I was reading, Pat said that they've asked spirits talking to them on an app not to talk all at once. And we've done that with spirit boxes. We've said, hey, one at a time. And then they do it. I mean, a lot of it's just communication, which everybody's horrible at, no matter where you're at. So apparently, no matter what lifetime you're in, communication still sucks.
Well, and they are just people.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. They're just people, and once they find a way, they have that opportunity, they're just like on it.
Mm-hmm.
Jen says, I've been told that the term guardian angel is just a name that religion gave to spirit guides, that they're one and the same. This is very interesting views everyone has. Me likey. Took me a minute to figure out what you meant by me likey. I thought it was
me likey.
Me likey. Yeah.
You know, and that's what I really like, especially about this radio station, because I've talked to other people that will fight you on their voice because they will be like, no.
They'll cut you like a hot dog.
They'll be like, you are wrong because I've been told this or I've been told that, but it's we all live our lives differently, and we all, we hear, we interpret things differently too.
Yeah.
We
understand, interpret it, and then spit it back out different. Sometimes we all mean the same thing, but we're so busy fighting and not listening to each other that if you would just stop and listen for a second, they're just using different words sometimes. Other times they're just assholes. But,
Right, that's just it. I think we all run into the occasional asshole every once in a while. But I mean, it's always.
Are we still talking spirits?
No, people.
Oh, we're talking people now. Although you do run into the occasional asshole in the spirit realm too, as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Any more questions on Briity being a paranormal investigator or a psychic intuitive? Anything on spirit guides?
I'm game for it.
Type it in, guys, because pretty soon we're going to switch to a fun subject. Not that this isn't fun. I'm watching the time because I could talk about this all night, but I want to get to the second part of the show because I'm very bad at keeping up with my plans. I'm bad at the execution. I'm bad at the execution of shows. Here we go.
Pat's got one. Do you think whatever spirit you're talking to has a status they're trying to live up to? Like they'd rather be considered a guardian angel rather than a spirit guide because it's like a cooler thing to be. In my experience, that stuff doesn't matter. Ego really isn't really big in the spirit realm. I mean, as far as guides and guardian angels goes, I mean, I'm sure, spirits, I mean, they still have the human emotions to them. But as far as angels, spirit guides, all those have to be, all that matters really is love and peace, and that everything needs to go the way that it should. They don't really go as far as egos and jealousy and stuff like that, from what I understand. No,
I think that's a fascinating question, and I'm shaking my head because that's my mom, and she's never asked me that.
Okay. I was like, she's shaking her head. I might be saying something wrong.
I'm just like, that's a fascinating question. I've never gotten that from them either, that there's any sort of ego tripping, that they're trying to better the other or advance to something or look at what I can do. I've never gotten that from anybody.
From what I've gotten, they just want everything as a whole to be good.
Yeah.
I mean,
they
nothing.
Shed that human ego, that human element of jealousy, ego, of wanting. I mean, they might want for whoever they're guiding, but they don't have any.
Right. I mean, they have, the sort. I mean, they obviously have their own kind of personality and stuff like that.
Oh, absolutely.
The ego and stuff gets dropped at the door. Oh God, I get whips every once in a while from my guys, and it's like, just shut up.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Kelly says mine's a bitch, but she has to be.
she
to put up
is.
with me.
Oh, absolutely, and that's what I was going to say. Is they still have their personalities, and they even still seem to have emotions, because she'll get mad at me if I'm not listening to her, and she will tell me about it.
He likes to kid around with me. He'll be like, "Oh, you forgot about this," and I'll be like, and I'll start to feel bad, and I'll be like, "What does that matter? You're dead." Because he'll be like, "It's my birthday today." I'll be like, "What? No, it's not." Then he'll be like,
You don't have birthdays. Knock this off.
I'm like, "What does it matter? You're dead. Don't make me feel bad." And then he'll slap me and run away. I'm like, no, this is not how it goes. Yeah, as far as I know, negativity, ego, jealousy, that stuff, it doesn't serve a purpose. So therefore, it's not there. It doesn't serve the purpose, to serve the greater good. So they have no need for it. They're there to do their job, and that's what they do.
That was an awesome question.
Yeah.
Good job, Mama.
I've never seen or heard that question before.
I know, right?
That's been one thing that I've talked with my guides about before. I said, because when you have a really bad day, people are just bringing you down. You're like, God, does it get any better? And well, then that's when my guide was a smartass, and he's like, I don't care. No, okay.
I don't quite understand. What is Mama? I'm trying here, Mama. I wonder if ego carried over, but also maybe because they think you listen more to an angel than to a spirit guide. I got it now. Okay.
And I think that goes back to your belief system.
Yeah.
If your belief system doesn't involve spirit guides, but angels make sense to you, then they'll maybe come through as an angel, know. And it doesn't necessarily change what they are, but I don't know that they care how we see them, as long as we're listening to them as best we can.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I would think. Yeah, I don't think that they would be like, well, I came to her as a spirit guide, but she's not listening to me, so I'm just going to tell her I'm an angel and see if that works. If it's that important, they might send one, but they don't.
Can you imagine them coming through and going, well, I was going to help you, but you called me a spirit guide.
Right.
So screw you. You're going to fail. You're going to die.
That will be me if I ever become a spirit. I will. If I ever haunt you and now somebody says that, I'll be like, Kelly, I was going to be your spirit guide, but you're such a bitch. You'll know it's me. You'll be like, hi, Shay.
Now I'm just... Yeah.
God damn it. Why did I get Shay? Why did I get Shay?
I have a list. I have a good list and a bad list. Hi, Amy. Thanks for joining us. You can tell we're all hosts because there's no prodding needed. This is like this is like the easiest show ever. It's just like we actually all have to keep stopping because we just keep going.
I don't want to talk over people. Well, it's good to think that we dropped that ego once we've advanced so far, and that it is really good to know that once you get that far, everything's so much easier for you. You can almost breathe easier. I mean, so to speak. You don't feel that need to worry about it anymore.
I wish more people were like that.
I
know
was just
it sounds
say
like I'm being a smartass, but I really mean that.
No, yeah. I mean, and there's some days where I sit there and I think, my God, I need to be more like my spirit guides, which then they applaud me. And I'm like, no. And then I have another day where I'm just like, fuck everybody here because I'm done.
I have those 1 minute I'll be that way, the next minute I'll be like, fuck everybody, the next minute I'll be like, hug me.
Leave me alone. I was kidding. Where'd you go?
Yeah, that cliche of a girlfriend leave me alone. Why aren't you hugging me? That's my life right there.
It's like, leave me alone, don't touch me. Yeah,
that's my
later,
people skills.
Hey. Come love me. Sorry, I was a bitch 2 seconds ago.
You know what?
I am the first one to drop the F-bomb.
I went 2 whole shows without dropping an F-bomb.
We did really well.
Yeah.
It's totally no holds barred tonight, so.
Yeah. Yeah, the Ken Boggle one, I did really good, and then he's like, "Why are you being good?" Okay, you asked for it.
Yeah, that's just it. I think it all depends on who you're with.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
I'm the same way. I let the guest lead, and then other times I just don't care.
Right.
They've been warned. If you come on my show and have never listened to it, that's on you, not on
Yeah,
me.
your fault. Your fault. You should have checked what you were getting into.
That's just it. If we invite you to be a guest, at least come on and listen to one or two shows.
Yeah. Or don't complain. That's the whole thing.
Right.
You know?
Jump on.
I've never been on a show. I've never been the guest on a show without at least knowing the host or at least previewing before.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I'm like, can I get back to you tomorrow? And then I go and listen to
do some recon. You got to see what's going on. What can I and can I not say?
Live editing. I don't know how to live edit. I don't know how to do. Oh, I get. Yeah. I'm not going to pull a Benji and talk and bitch about work right now. But Benji, you better remember how much of a nice person I am. Yeah, I have the voices. Amy, reminds me of what I called Jennifer. I was like, Jennifer, knock it off. And we got it as we're starting
the mom
the show.
voice is out.
That's what she said. She's like, sorry, can't stop laughing. Shay used her mom voice on me.
Yep. I remember that show.
Yeah.
That
was supposed to be our 5-minute test show. And it was 46 minutes long. Our test show.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
That's all right, though. That is quite all right.
2 F-bombs, yep. All right, so let's switch over. Briity, you'll have to come back because I would love to talk more about this with you.
Oh, yeah.
Me too, because it's nice to talk to somebody who thinks the way I do. So.
Yeah, actually,
you didn't know anything about Kelly, so I didn't know I was walking into with this one.
I didn't know what I was walking into, being friends with both of you and you guys not knowing each other. That it could be rough, but this is pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it's
all good.
Yeah.
It's because neither one of you have ego, and I am not joking. I mean that in a good way. You both are willing to listen to other people, but for the most part, I don't think you've disagreed tonight, so that helps too.
No, not really. No, it does definitely help. But I mean, if she was completely wrong, I'd have to tell her. But no, I'm kidding.
That's just it. And sometimes when I hear something different, I can kind of sit back and think on it, and I'll be like, that makes a hell of a lot more sense than what I'm thinking.
I'm the same way, yeah.
And I guess I just always go with the theory that we don't know what the answers are. We're going based off of what we think, what we feel, what our spirits have told us. But what if our spirits are wrong? I mean, they've got to make mistakes too, right?
You would think so. I mean, that's just it. I mean, and some of us are more in tune with them than others, and some of them, like mine, are smart asses, and I can't figure out if they're telling the truth or not.
Or maybe you misunderstand what they say. And that's how you get it wrong.
Oh, I don't know that there's misunderstanding her when she stands there and puts a hand on a hip and goes, I told you so. Mm-hmm. Are you hearing what you're saying, Kelly? Uh-huh. I'm like, you know what? Just go away. Shut up. I tell my spirit guide to shut up way more than I probably should.
Dude, don't worry. I tell him to just shut up and leave. And then he acts all sad. He's like, fine, but you'll need me. Like, nope.
You'll be sorry. You'll need me. Nope.
Yep. Nope. That's exactly it. Sure enough, I'm like, sorry.
I'm laughing too much. Well, it's no such thing as too much. Speaking of laughing.
Kelly froze mid-laugh.
She's got that little smirk.
She does.
Back. It's that Iowa cold. She's she's a couple hours away from you, I believe.
Oh, really? She's from Iowa too?
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I asked before we started the show, I'm like, do you guys know each other or not? Because she's from Iowa.
Oh, now we got to figure out where she's actually from.
Yeah. I forget. I forget. To me, Iowa's one place. It's like, it's not a state. It's a city. Like, I think all you people live around the block from each other.
Right. Well, like Will Conkle. She's back. Will Conkle.
Yeah, I was going to say, I totally lost you guys for a while.
We were talking all sorts of things about you. Will Conkle says that Iowa's all the way in Canada, and we have to remind him that, or where we are, anyway, he's still in Iowa, but where we are, we're not that far. We're at the Minnesota border, but we're not in Canada.
She didn't
She said
know
you're
you were
from
from
Iowa.
Iowa. I said, I think of Iowa as a city. I think you guys all live around the block from each other,
I
but
think
you're all
my
a couple
connection
hours.
sucks, guys.
Oh. Yeah, that's
She's
okay.
gone.
We'll just keep talking. Yeah.
It is bitterly cold though. I don't know what.
Rapids. Okay. She's from Cedar Rapids, Mama said.
She's from Cedar Rapids. Okay, yeah, that's about 3 hours I think from us. It's negative.
And
2.
you're the one that's from something Falls. I don't want to say it on air, but
Me?
yeah, where are you from?
No. Forest City.
Because something always comes up, something Falls. Whenever Benji emails me or something, or it comes up. Maybe that's just the closest one. Or maybe it's somebody else. Could be somebody else.
I have no idea. Yeah.
Who am I thinking? I'll get back to you on what I'm thinking. Half the time I don't know. So I have a few questions before we.
Mhm.
So anybody that doesn't know, Briity is one of the hosts of B Squared Magic Monday, actually right here, every other Monday, 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central.
Mhm.
Who came up with this idea? Because when we all started, you had your show, he had his show, he co-hosted his show, and then awesomeness happened, and you guys came together.
I think a lot of it was there'd be times when I would be having a show and I would look at him and I'd be like, I just don't know what the hell to talk about. And he'd be like, you want me to join you? I'd be like, sure. And then we just started bantering back and forth. And it ended up being a lot more entertaining than me just rambling on by myself, which, was a breeze for me. I love to talk, but not to myself necessarily.
It is hard.
It's hard. Yeah, and I'm not good at reading off scripts and outlines and stuff. I bounce everywhere, so you really, you just have to kind of know me to be able to bounce around with my show.
Yeah.
If it's just me.
I listened to hey, you back.
Oh no, go ahead. Hey.
Sorry. I have no idea why my connection's so bad, but you guys keep on going like you have been. I'm good.
Yeah, we waited a second and then said, we better keep going in case she decides not to come back. Not decides, you know what I mean?
No, you guys just keep on going. I don't know what's wrong with my connection tonight, but yeah, it's
We're talking
misbehaving.
about
The aisle's cold.
Yeah,
I said
that's what
it's cold.
It's stupid cold. I'm so over winter. Winter needs to be done.
Yep, about the time we think we're done, then we get to them 40 degrees, and then all of a sudden it snows and we get another blizzard. I'm like,
all right. Where are you at again, Briity?
I'm up by Mason City.
Okay, yeah.
I live in Forest City. I'm up by Mason City, so I'm in the northern part.
Yep. So yeah, you've been experiencing all this crap we've been having too.
Yep. I just told her it says -2. I don't know what it feels like out there, but
it was cold. I was trying to type Briity while I was outside smoking, and I was trying to send her the clip of what I was going to play.
Mm-hmm.
And it went through twice, and then I'm trying to type, and my typing was probably even worse than normal, which anybody that sees me in chat knows.
Actually, it came out just fine, but I would see the 3 dots show up, and then they would disappear, and then they would show up, and then they would disappear, and I'd be like, is she going to say something? No, she's not.
And my hands are literally frozen from, after 2 drags of a cigarette outside. I'm like, yeah, I'm done. I can wait.
Yeah, they say here it's frostbite within 5 to 10 minutes of being outside uncovered. So
yeah, it's hurt your face cold outside.
Yes, and then
Definitely.
we go, why are we here?
Right? I have no idea why we live here. Because I would say, well, the summers are nice. No, because then the humidity kicks in and we just melt.
I always say I'm going to sound like the typical Iowan Midwesterner. If it wasn't for that wind or the humidity, we would be perfect.
That week of spring and week of fall that we get, though, phenomenal.
Beautiful.
Totally worth it.
I can handle the summer a little bit more than I can the winter, but
that's what New Englanders say.
Yeah.
we bitch about the summer. Can't wait for winter. We bitch about the winter. It's never.
I always bitch about the winter. I try not to bitch about the summer because then I know I'd rather be in the summer than the winter. And then we have Jen, who comes on our group chat.
Oh my God, Jen!
Oh my God, it's so cold. It's
55. Yeah.
What?
I got a snowsuit on. It's 60 degrees out.
You gotta wear gloves. Like, dude, we're in hazmat suits with. We're covered from it. We are the kid in A Christmas Story. We cannot put our arms down because it's so cold.
But I can't even imagine, because to her it must be cold, but
Right.
I think she does it just to tease us.
I think so too. And I know it's going to come back to bite us in the ass, because we're going to be bitching about the heat in the summer, and she's going to be like, guess what?
Yeah.
No, it's going to come around full
Kelly
circle.
looks mad at us, but she's just frozen.
No, now she's back.
Yes, she does.
Did look mad at us. She was like,
She did. She was like, don't talk about my Jen, and then she froze. You couldn't
Yeah,
see
no,
that.
it was my
Yeah, I know.
computer behaving, and I'm scowling at it.
Yep.
Okay, so the only thing we didn't discuss because of Skype issues is what we're starting with first. Let's start with my clip.
Okay.
So see if I.
With your what?
No, you should have listened to B Square Monday. You would have fit right in. Clip with a P. Clip with a P. And before I get into this,
Wow.
clip, clip.
Yeah, Benji's pointing out that it's warmer in Antarctica right now.
It's pretty warm in here now, thanks to Kelly.
Hey, I don't know if it was the connection or the accent, but that is so not what it sounded like you said.
It's not the first time people misunderstood me, but when I swear, I make it known. If anybody is so PC that they get upset with little things, you might want to leave. Because we mean no harm, but if you're very sensitive, some of this might upset you. I also don't know what she's reading, but I just like to give another. This could get explicit. This is not probably going to be PC, and by that I mean politically correct. For anybody out there that didn't know what that meant, so.
Oh, that went over my head. I thought you were talking computer smarts.
No. The next segment, this last segment of the show, is definitely not going to be politically correct. So
I let's put it this way: on B Squared, anything goes, anything comes. we just do whatever.
Giggity.
I started when I made this clip. I just picked a spot. I knew what I was looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And I started off with something that out of context sounded so bad, and I'll tell you after the show, it's so bad I can't even say it on the show.
Wow, that's got to be horrible.
Yeah, because out of context, it's
For Shay, yeah.
It was really bad. So, all right, here we go. Let me, I'm going to mute us and play this. Benji's giggling, I think.
Who's Britty's paranormal crush? Don't ask me, Wolf. Because I'm going to get picked on. I'm going to get picked on. It's Zach Bagans. I love the man. Oh, he's so hot.
Well, if that's all you're going on is looks alone, then maybe.
Well, I follow him on like all
as long
as
he doesn't ever open his mouth and speak or
I know he's got a deep, sexy voice, so
I can't get past there's a demon here. Let me take off my shirt and
he doesn't take off his shirt anymore. And not everything's demons.
Anyways, yeah.
He's just, like...
We agree to disagree on that.
Right. Well, and it's kind of like, I don't know, because that's TV. I don't know anything about TV, but I know, like Moth, the group that Benji's part of, they do deal with the darker stuff. That's usually what they're called for. And I think that's what Ghost Adventures is called for. I don't know. I don't even know if they have a say in what they do, honestly. But if we're just going off of that's my paranormal crush would be Zach Bagans, and I would be like, oh.
It's a TV show, and it's for entertainment, and I get that. And I've said I got called out on it, and I've said many times that I don't know the man personally. He could be a great guy in person. I'm judging him on his TV persona. Just like people can judge me by my radio persona and call me a bitch, except I am a bitch in real life.
And I am proud of it. I wear that damn title like a badge.
And I used to get a lot of flack about it because, I would go in, because that was my main, paranormal show, and I'd go in, who the fuck are you? And I'd be like, oh, that's bad
why
idea.
I don't like it. Because so many young people, that's my thing. So many people don't understand young people, everybody.
Right, yeah. TVs, that's what I was. I was like, who are you?
They don't understand it's TV, it's entertainment. These are dead people you're talking to like that.
Right.
That's my big issue, but I make it into a joke. So.
And I do, with the progression of their show, they were a lot more crude at the beginning. They've kind of toned it down. It seems everywhere they go is something dark. So, of course, then they're a little more offensive about it. But at first, they were walking in there and being really offensive about everything, it seemed. Now they've kind of toned it down to where, hey, these are people, whatever. But I guess that's what however many years they've been doing it does. I don't know.
Again, I haven't watched it in years. I don't actually watch that many paranormal TV shows. But, it's still fun to make fun of his TV persona, at least.
Well, right. We always make fun of whenever we hear like a new paranormal show that's got the voiceover, and we're like, oh, that's Zach Bagans right there.
Yeah, you can tell which ones, and they all.
They're trying. They use muscles and
yeah. They couldn't see that, but you could. So. Where is it? Zach, I don't always, this is from Benji. I had to go back because I thought it was so great.
Right.
Zach, I don't always get possessed by demons, but when I do, it's every episode.
And that's something, the people that have been watching them lately, it's not even so much him, it's the other dudes. And he's just like, dude, what the fuck's wrong with you?
Or like, Aaron, you go inside the morgue, inside the fridge thing. I'm going to go get a coffee.
Yeah, and I'm kind of the same way, though. If people go investigating with me and they show that they're scared little shits, I'll be like, you are going to sit in that room by yourself, because you cannot call yourself a paranormal investigator and not be at least willing. And of course, we all scream, I don't scream, I guess. I don't know. But when stuff happens, you get excited. You're freak out a little bit. You're like, oh my God, what was that? But
you've never done the dude run thing?
No, I've never done the dude run thing. I do say dude a lot, but I've never done the dude run thing.
I've never done the run thing.
No.
I have jumped. I jumped behind my sister at the last investigation.
Mm-hmm. I guess maybe it's because I haven't had anything maybe to that magnitude that they show happen to me. But when that EVP comes across, we're all like, dude, listen to that. And that's just, I just say dude all the time.
I do too. It's a mass thing. Dude, oh my God.
Yeah, people are like, they say dude too much. It's like, some people just say dude all the time. If
I say dude, I'm either pissed or excited.
Oh, yeah. I say dude all the time. So my brother's nickname for me is dude. So
that's funny.
Yeah. Ever since when he was little, his nickname's been dude. So yeah, that's.
I don't hold it against you. I have bad taste in men too. It's okay.
Oh yeah, no, and that's fine. I knew I was gonna get picked on when Wolf asked. I was like, something tells me he may already know. Yeah, y'all got dude from us here in California. Well, guess what, Jen? I did live in California for a while, so booyah. I don't know.
Wolf asks that to every guest now.
Yeah.
So. But he might have known. He listens to you guys every other week when you're on.
He does. Yeah, he does. He's one of the pretty steady following, and which is pretty awesome. I when we started doing this, I was like, I don't know who's going to want to listen to us. Besides the close knit group of friends. And that's
it's my favorite show. It's my favorite show. But for this network, cool. It's always since day one. The very first episode, I knew it was a show for me. I really did.
Yeah, and that's what we've been told. It kind of just shocked us because, like we said at first, we're like, who wants to listen to, basically us ramble on and, and then the thing is that's our everyday life. That's how we talk. There's nothing different about it. We just we just record it, really.
Yeah. It's not you. That's who you are. It's not fake, and it's genuine, and it's funny as hell. It really is. Yep,
and that's why we have to mark explicit, just because anything is going to go And another thing that we like about our show is that it doesn't always have to be paranormal stuff. It could be about, mythological stuff or whatever it is. It just whatever goes with the flow at that point in time, we go with it,
I have a new host coming on to the network to mark the show explicit and leave it there. Don't change it.
Yeah.
I really did. I'm like, leave it. Don't want to mess with that. So. Okay, here we go. Now, Kelly's back.
Okay.
I'm going to mute this. I'm going to play this clip while she's still here. She already listened to it previously, so I guess I could have played it before she got here. Here we go, guys. This is from Monday Night Show.
That's kind of what it is.
Oh man. All right. And here we go.
The big news.
The big news. The big news. This one's from October 30th. There is an update involving babies. Babies. But woman who had sex with 20 ghosts is now engaged to a spirit and looking to having ghost babies.
Ghosty.
She wants to have ghost babies. I unfortunately don't have the ghost babies story, but I have the woman engaged to a spirit. The one where the update where it talks about her wanting to have ghost babies would not load, and it really bugs me.
Did they get married?
I don't know. It wouldn't load.
I don't know.
I don't know. This is back in October.
Don't they call
A British woman, Brittany. That's not her name.
No.
Who claimed she has slept with at least 20 ghosts, says she is now engaged to a poltergeist.
They call them incubuses.
In December, Amethyst Realm told British her name is Amethyst Realm?
Okay, now you're asking for it.
What? Okay. Amethyst Realm told British TV show ITV this morning that she cheated on her fiancé with a ghost and has since gone on to have supernatural affairs with at least 20 paranormal beings. Well, now she says she's found true love with an apparition. Realm said the ghost asked her to get married during a trip to celebrate their 9-month relationship at England's Wookey Hole Caves. Wookey Hole Caves. Wookey.
I can't do it. Either she's psychic or she brings the Ouija board everywhere she goes.
There was no going down on one knee. He doesn't have knees. But for the first time, I heard him speak. I could actually hear his voice, and it was beautiful.
So wait,
deep,
does it say he doesn't
sexy,
have knees?
and real. It says he doesn't. She says he doesn't have knees.
So he doesn't have knees, but he has a penis?
Amputees. Amputees. Amputees do not have knees. And most of the men amputees do still have penises.
You know that's not what I meant.
My God,
Stop
woman.
making me look like I'm a heartless person.
We really need to start renaming our episodes as, like, this one's going to be super offensive, so be careful.
If you're an amputee, don't listen, even though I'm not talking about amputees.
Alrighty, guys. Yeah, Wolf is saying I can listen to this one all day. I was in such a bad mood Monday that I kept refreshing until they went live. Like, I started at 2 minutes before the show, and I kept refreshing. I'm like, I just need to laugh. I just need to laugh. So, you know.
That's what I like about our show. I mean, that's kind of what we go for. We go for making people laugh. It's a feel-good show. And, I mean, we have our serious points, but...
I could have played you knocking over all the stuff. I could have played you yelling from upstairs at it, but, I picked...
Oh, yeah, you picked that part.
I picked a good part.
There's
Go
plenty
for
of stuff
gold.
where I'm yelling at him, so...
Yeah, he's laughing under his breath, and he yells up, "Shut up!" Yes, I always he says we've labeled it a comedy. Yeah, I always do. #paranormal comedy.
Yeah, which is something I don't think you really see much out there, but
No.
because when I first saw it, I was like, a paranormal comedy. He's like, yeah, like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay, that works.
Sometimes
we
they forget
funny
the
as hell.
paranormal, and it's just a comedy, but it's still just as funny.
Yeah, that's
Sorry.
no, you're fine. Yeah, he came up with this. What do you think of the news of the weird? At first, I'm like, that is really cheesy. Why would we do something like that? And then we come up with the weirdest shit like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Hilarious.
okay.
I did not pick that clip because I sent you the story, which I did send you the story. But
Right.
it happened to be the only paranormal story that night, so I'm like, well,
Yeah.
I guess that's mine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know. And that's just it. I mean, that was one thing. I think I remember reading something about that earlier, and then you sent it, and I was like, oh, yeah, that's right. There's this chick that thinks she can get pregnant by a ghost. All right. Wow.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell am I reading? And then I sent it. I'm like, is this weird enough for the show? And he nobody answered at first. I'm like, uh-oh. And then he's like, hell yeah, or something like that.
Yep, I think I brought it up to him. I saw it, and then I read it to him. He's like, oh, my God. He was the one that had read the full article. I didn't read the full article. I just read the
Highlights.
yeah, and I was like, oh, God, this is insane.
Yep. Kim, stay warm, please.
Yes, Kim. Oh, just the heat went out. Oh, Lordy.
Yeah, definitely.
Ugh,
Too cold for that.
it is.
I'm gonna have a coffee. Can you guys talk amongst yourself for a minute? I gotta walk away for a second. I'm
Okay.
gonna have a coughing fit. I'll be right back.
Well, she just froze again, so.
Oh shit! All right, I'll mute you. Hold on. I'm still here. I just tried to get the coffee.
I can hear you guys, but you're very like robotic sounding.
Oh. Oh, there she is. Yeah, she's
You guys are super robotic sounding.
Mr. Roboto.
I'm doing. Am I doing the robot? How do you do it?
I don't know. To me, it looks like you're just
Yeah.
playing with your hands.
I'm gonna blame the wind and the snow and the ice and
Yeah.
That is what I was doing too. But probably is. I mean, my internet was acting up last week because it was so cold.
What?
And so frozen.
Yeah, ours was at work the other day. Everything went out. So.
Yeah. All right. So, are you ready for this, Brittany?
Sure. Let me get her all pulled up and.
This should be interesting because I'm not a DJ. I pretend to be a podcast host, but I'm not a DJ. I know to turn the sound down. That I found out last night.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's low enough. So, Brittany has this new segment on the show. It's called Shower Thoughts. You want to explain what it is before we get into it?
Yeah, it was. So I was actually looking for stuff to share for news of the weird, and I came across a thread in Reddit that was shower thoughts, and a lot of them either they really make you think really deep, and you're like, oh my god, that's like really true. Otherwise, you're just like, holy shit, you know. It started cracking us up, and then everybody loved it. So then I just kind of kept on with it.
Yeah, I think was yesterday Monday the second time doing it.
Second or third, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, it's probably the ice. It's probably doing that. So,
Yeah.
okay. And I'm going to try so hard not to laugh through it. I can mute me, but I can't mute Kelly because then it will mute you. So
Oh, okay.
If I laughed too hard, I can mute myself, but I can't mute Kelly, so.
Okay. She's like, great.
And I didn't have a chance to test the music, so hopefully it works. I got it like 1 minute before we went on the air. Here we go. I'll give you the thumbs up when it's playing.
Okay. Shower thoughts with Briity. People in movies almost never have to adjust a driver's seat in a newly purchased or stolen vehicle. Scarlet Witch and Vision is a love story about a woman and her super advanced vibrator. It's always big spoon and little spoon when referring to people, but real spoons fit best when they're the exact same size. It's funny how when you're a child, your parents can see you naked and a stranger shouldn't. But when you're an adult, strangers can see you naked, but your parents really shouldn't. You've technically never watched a full movie because you always blink. Evil villains' monologues because they can't talk to anyone about their passions. People ask what you do for a living so they can calculate the level of respect they give you. Everyone's first cake day is technically the day they sign up, but no one knows because everyone starts off by just lurking. I have no idea on that one. Being fat is the only problem you can run away from.
Sorry.
It's easy for a smell to trigger a memory, but it's hard to remember a smell. A grilled cheese is just a northern quesadilla. As a teenager, you'd lie to parents to go out. As an adult, you lie to your friends to stay in.
Truth.
Mm-hmm. Watching people come through the arrivals gate at an airport is like watching a random person generator. A plastic bag blowing in the wind is just a 21st century tumbleweed. You know, and I've thought about that plenty of times.
That's true, yeah.
We're all really lucky their skin doesn't get stains like clothes do. That's a very good point.
Ah.
They don't make heart-shaped tortilla chips for Valentine's Day because most of the bag would be filled with broken hearts. Oh! Oh, that's horrible. The guy who made the wheel thousands of years ago would be so smug if he was ever to travel to the future and see that we are still using it. Being adopted is not that bad, considering your parents probably went out of their way hand-picking you instead of making a mistake or afterthought. If time is money, waiting for a discount is the same as paying full price. We relax to the sounds of bird yelling for things. Fitted sheets are the USBs of bedding. There's only 2 orientations, but it takes 3 tries to line up with the orientation of the bed. The man who invented eyeglasses was a visionary. When we figured out the technology of plastic, a material that takes a long time to erode, we used it as a disposable rather than finding ways to implement it into the infrastructure. By that logic, when we discover wormhole technology, we'll be using it to get the last chip from the Pringles tube. Oh, and then there we go. Playing a wrong note on an instrument is like your voice cracking. Some FedEx drivers have been drug mules without even realizing. We spend 5 days a week pretending to be someone else in order to spend 2 days being who we are. We can track the cars delivering our food, but we can't track the ambulances coming to heal us. Harry Potter could refer to his flirting tactics as H.P. Lovecraft. As we grow older, we replace all the cells in our bodies. Pictures of us as kids are of someone who literally doesn't exist anymore. Whoever created the tradition of not seeing the bride in the wedding dress beforehand saved countless husbands everywhere from hours of dress shopping and will forever be a hero to all men. Maybe all old prisons are so haunted because they are full of people serving consecutive life sentences. Oh my God, Shay. What?
Well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Benji told me not to laugh, so I'm trying so hard to sit here quietly.
Oh, I see. She's like sitting on the couch with her hand over her eyes.
I'm trying really hard not to laugh because he said it helps the atmosphere. I think he was just picking on me, but I'm trying it.
I don't know. When you close your eyes, it feels like your vision shuts off, but you're really just looking at the inside of your eyelids. If a person lives in complete darkness their whole life, they wouldn't know they had the sense of sight. Likewise, we could have a sixth sense that we're completely unaware of due to lack of stimulation. Somebody somewhere has your dream username, and they're probably inactive.
He told me to do laugh. He didn't say don't. He said to laugh.
Oh, jeez. Once you kill one person, your KD ratio will always be positive in real life. Kill death. Huh. Arm wrestling is just competitive hand-holding. The Truman Show could easily be made into a Black Mirror episode. And I've watched Black Mirror.
I've seen a couple episodes.
I haven't watched a heck of a lot, but I've watched a few enough to be like, yes, that word. On Earth, curiosity drives scientists. On Mars, scientists drive curiosity. Children are only happier than adults because they don't understand money yet. Very true.
Yeah. Amen.
1 month is not a set unit of measurement. Trains are basically horizontal elevators. Given the amount of variety humans have with skin color, bone structure, height, weight, etc., it's weird realizing there are only 4 natural hair colors. And the kid whose uncle actually works for Nintendo probably has a hard time convincing others he's telling the truth.
Yep.
Yeah, these shower thoughts just totally went off the rails. And so every week he's like, you got your shower thoughts? And I'd be like, I guess, yes, I have them right here.
I thought he said don't laugh. So I was trying so hard not to fucking laugh.
Did he do it in the chat?
Yeah. He's like, no, I said to do laugh. Oops. That's why.
Keep the laughs. It helps the atmosphere.
Yeah, I misread it.
Apparently.
What else is new?
It happens.
So I held in all that laugh for no reason.
And now she explodes.
Yep, yeah. She's like, what?
That is craziness. Miss Britty.
Yes.
Hold on. I lost sound.
Uh-oh.
All right. Yeah, there you go. I thought the show was gonna end, tell you the truth. I think my internet started blinking.
Uh-oh.
And I'm hardwired in, yeah. You want to throw out your social media for us?
Yeah. Basically, you can find me anything on social media if you type in at Briity0012. I'm on Twitter and Instagram, Facebook, and we do have the B Squared Magic Mondays Facebook page, which I just recently found out we had. Thanks, Benji. So I will be trying to post on that a little bit more often. Missed that argument on Monday, if you didn't listen to the show.
I was trying to help, and I was way wrong. He's like, Shay's only been in an admin for a couple weeks. I'm like, no, 1 week. He's like, no, actually, it's been a couple weeks.
Yeah, I'm like,
I didn't notice.
One today. So he's like, what are you doing? I'm making a page for a show. I can't believe we don't have one. We do. What? Yeah, we have a show.
It was created like September 15th or something like that.
Yeah, so apparently he's had this on the back burner. Well, he's had this under his belt all by himself. He could have been doing amazing things.
He had me as an admin for 1 whole minute before I went and updated the profile picture. And I'm like, don't hate me. I already changed your profile picture.
Right.
Because it said coming soon. The show's been on air for 3 months. I'm like, that needs to change.
He's probably like, if I add these women, they're going to come in and change everything. I can't have that. I'm like, nope. We're changing shit now. Especially now that, I just love that. Oh, I should probably add you as an admin. Well, yeah, I'm kind of half the show.
Yeah.
So.
A better half as
detailed.
That's what I'm told. So.
What is? Oh, I was gonna read the comment. It was Briity commenting. Never mind.
Oh yeah.
Benji said, but that's why I added you. I know. I felt bad because I instantly. I'm like, wait, who added me to a fucking page now? And I look. I'm like, oh, it's them. That's okay, but that's gotta go. That's gotta go.
There goes the man cave. Matt says, "There goes the man cave."
What did Matt call mine? Matt called mine the Shay's Show She Shed. Hey, I said it right.
I think that's what you said.
I can't say it any faster, so don't ask.
Shay show she shed. Shay show she shed.
Do you guys have any investigations coming up, Briity?
I do believe we're going to Malvern. I just don't remember when. And I believe it's in May. I do believe it's in May. And there's another thing going on in May at Farrar. There's a ConjureCon. I cannot remember the date.
It's the 18th.
The 18th, yep. And what that is, we're actually going to bring the kids with because they're supposed to have like bouncy houses and all sorts of fun stuff. We probably won't do any actual investigations with the kids there, but, to have them come in and, just enjoy, everybody there would be fun. So they can see where we actually go when we kind of disappear for a weekend.
Yeah. Yep.
And I think it's 2 weeks after that is when we're going to Malvern. So.
Nice. You have to do some live feeds from Melbourne.
Yeah. And I always plan on doing it, and then it's too dark and the lighting sucks, and I'm like, okay, well.
Yes, it does. This is why my live feeds last weekend had a flashlight in my face.
Yep.
It's hard.
I never get the flashlight. Everybody else has a flashlight but me. I just wander in darkness, so.
I trip entirely too often to not have a flashlight, so.
And sometimes I think I should, because when we were at like a Missouri State Penitentiary, my only light was my camera. So they couldn't really use a lot of my footage because I was just wandering around in the dark with my camera at my feet. So I knew where I was going.
Oh, when I first started filming, I used to do that. I'm supposed to be filming other things, but I wasn't. I'm also afraid of the dark. Yes, that's my kitty meowing at me. I'm afraid of the dark, and I'm much better now. But when I first started, I think it's a while back, and whatever it's been, I was really afraid, so like the camera was always down just so I could see in the infrared or the night vision.
Right. And that's things where, I feel, okay, I've learned from that, but then no, nobody gives me a camera because they think I'm just going to film my feet. No, I won't just film
I learned my lesson, please.
Yeah, I did. I'm sorry. You probably could have gotten excellent stuff, but no, sorry, I was on my feet. I won't do it again. I promise.
Yeah. Get one of those GoPros that you put right on you. We've used those quite a bit. Yeah, they have the vest ones. It's the same one, but you can get a harness and wear it like a vest.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. I suggest it for men more than women because it hurts a little. So. I said that nicely.
Yes.
So, let's see. What else? Oh, let's see. I gotta do the ornery stuff. That's my new word I made up a few weeks ago. Ornery.
Ornery?
No, owner.
Because you have to spell it out. So.
Owner.
Yeah, I think she's got the ornery thing down pat.
Yeah, that's. So, let's see. Today is the 8th. There we go. Tomorrow night, we Peggy Gypsy is back for episode number 3. She has Dave Spinks coming on the show, and I really should write down these times. I usually don't mess them up, but I'm bound to. Let's see. She is at 9 Eastern, 8 Central, 6 Pacific. There we go. Yep, I believe that's correct. And B Squared is off this Monday, so you'll have to stay with us Sunday. Jen and I are doing a show. I should have went to Sunday first, but oh well. On astrology. Should be fun.
That'll be awesome. That'll be a fun one.
Did you see what Ben says that means for you since you're afraid of the dark?
No.
That means that you get to stay alone locked in the morgue in a tray.
Hey, they locked me in a closet. They said they were going to do it for 10 seconds. It was like 12 minutes. No flashlight. So I've done stuff. Don't get me wrong. And
Right.
I'm the first one to say, I'm not fucking doing that, but I'd be the first one to say, okay, I'll do it.
Right,
if you
right.
hear me cry and let me out, don't laugh at me.
See, where I'm the one, me, and they never pick the person that's like me. Let me do it.
Yeah, you are too eager.
Giddy. I'm too giddy for it.
Giddy. See, what do we got? We got, made me lose my train of thought, which is very easily done. REP
You'd gotten as far as Sunday.
Yep. REP Paranormal and Friends starts Thursday, February 21st. This I have written down. 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central. That's with REP Paranormal Busters. That's Kim Purvis and Allison Robinson, and their crew will be taking turns helping them. So I'm looking forward to that. That should be a really good show. And then, of course, in March, we have Origin starting March 11th. It's going to be on the opposite Mondays of B Squared. And I hope I'm right, 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central, because that's what I put on all the posts.
I'm really excited for that show.
I am too.
I am. I'm really excited for that show. I mean, I just think, just in hearing both Benji and Matt and how they talk about things, I'm like, I just think that's going to be really...
Well, I'm excited because Benji, since I've known him, has been talking about this. And something's always happened, and then he said that day, he's like, does anybody... And I'm like, I'm out. I can't. But you know who would be good for this? So I did volunteer Matt. I'm like, Matt, this is right up Matt's alley. This is...
Right.
Yeah. So... Benji says it is the time now. I don't know if anybody told me the time or I just assumed that was the time because of B Squared.
I don't know.
So if we...
It is now.
Yeah, that's what he said. Well,
She's the producer, damn it. That's what time it is.
Correct us then, Benji.
He's probably never seen any of the posts other than when I asked him for approval.
He probably
for the
doesn't
cover
even know
picture.
what time it's supposed to be.
I could just say, but you told me, Benji. Benji, you said 8:30.
You said that. That's what you said.
I just did what you told me to.
No, he's just giving you shit. Apparently it is the time.
It is the time, yeah. It's hard for me to tell sometimes.
When I sent you that question about putting together that clip for him, I'm like, I don't think Shay's the person where when you asked when he needed it, if I could say, I need it tonight. Because then I was just expecting your head to explode.
It would have. But I wouldn't have told you. I would have. Well, I had just said in chat Sunday, I said, here comes the F-bombs. Ready?
Yeah.
I just said in the chat Sunday, I'm like, I got it fucking done. It's not perfect, but I did it. I'm happy. It's up. It's playing. It's working. I'll never fucking do it again. And then you said, Benji wants to know if you can make some clips for him. And I'm like, are you serious or kidding? I didn't tell.
Said that, and I looked at him, and I told you, yep. I said, he's serious. And she's like, because he thought I don't know. He's like, well, she's been doing it, so I thought she would want to do it. And I said, apparently she said she's going to bitch about it, but she'll do it. And he's like, well, no. And then you're like, well, when does he need it done? And I so thought about saying, well, he needs it by tonight before the show. I'm like, I'm not going to stress her out like that. Oh, that would be so bad.
Actually, if it's something I can't do, I'm very honest. But if it's something I don't want to do, I'll say, I'll try to do it, but I don't want to.
Well, that's what he just thought of it today because he said, other radio. He's like, when I'm listening to other radio stations and they'd be like, here's what you missed on this and this or whatever. So he's like, that would be a good idea. See if Shay can do it.
What, Kelly, I made clips for the Skeptic and the Psychic pre-recorded show Sunday. And did we lose her?
No,
we lost. Oh, okay.
I think I'm here.
Yeah, she's here. I hear you.
So that's what we're talking about. They asked me to do if I wanted to pick some out for them. But I
started my show on Wednesday.
You did what?
I started my show on Wednesday, and there's always my show on Wednesday started, and there's always a little pre-recorded clip, and all of a sudden it starts playing something I have never heard before. I'm like, motherfucker, what did I do? Because I screw things up all the time. Mm-hmm. Charlotte actually made my own little clip now, and she'd replaced it, and I'm like, yeah, okay.
Oh, was that?
But I'm like panicking, trying. Because if you'd listened the week before that, I played Dr. Gina's intro on my show.
Yeah, yep. I knew it was one of them.
Because technology's my friend.
I was getting to you, I swear, I really was.
For what?
Wait a minute. Shut up. Wait a minute. Oh, he's saying
Oh, they're talking about time zones.
Who is she talking to?
I started saying something to you and then started answering the chat in the same thing. No, I said I would try Benji because I do need the practice. It's good for my I do need to learn how to do this stuff and practice, and if I get too fed up, I'm gonna say, fuck you, here you go, do it. Mm-hmm. So I swear I'm drinking water. I know I started swearing at the end here, but that's how irritated I get with technology.
Sounds like someone's got a window open.
I do.
Is it that hot there?
Yeah.
No.
I went from my heat not working to now it's always 70. It's always set on 70, but it feels like 100 and something in here. I had to open the window because I can't. That's why I'm getting stuffed up. I can't breathe.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Sounds like summer at your house.
No, it's freezing outside. It's just hot in my apartment. Yes, Kelly has a show. Wednesdays, 9 Eastern, 8 Central, 6 Pacific on Girls vs. Ghosts Media on Blog Talk Radio called The Realm Walker. Sometimes my memory impresses me. Did I get it right now that I just bragged? And we lost her.
I was going to say, and then there's silence.
I'm pretty sure I got it all right. Blog Talk Radio, Girls vs. Ghosts Media. So...
yes. Yep.
See, oh, there she is. Okay.
I just took the video off, hoping that makes it better, but my internet's just...
That's it. We're going to wrap up here.
I'm ready to pick something.
Yeah, it was fun. We'll have to do this again.
I'm sorry. I didn't hear a word you just said because what the hell is... Oh!
They're still arguing about time zones.
All I saw was, did your cat just fart? But there was a whole sentence in between, like there was words in between.
Oh.
No, it's just fun. Yeah.
I missed that one.
Yeah, it was fun. It was very fun. Next Friday, it is Q&A with Kelly and Shay.
Which has to be in that order because it rhymes that way. I posted something earlier and I'm like, Shay, I'm really sorry, but I put my name first, but it rhymed.
It does.
And I didn't realize I'd done it. And she's like, no, I did the same thing.
Actually, I said O, M, F, and G. I said, look, I did the same thing. I had already made the post because it rhymed. It had to go that way.
Exactly. It just flows. It rolls off your tongue.
It flows. All right, guys. Anything else? We got everything?
Anything goes next Friday, guys. So start thinking of those questions now.
Yeah, anything goes. Unless I don't want to answer and then it doesn't go. No.
I didn't think we'd answer it. I just said they could ask whatever they wanted.
That's true. Very true. This is the part where, see, Brittany, remember the click and done?
Yep.
Yeah, it's click and done. Good night, guys. Thank you. Oh, wait, I got to do shout-outs. Holy crap. See, this is what I mean. I always start a show and I remember start to end a show and I forgot something. Kelly, you want to read them or you want me to tonight?
I can certainly try if I don't cut out. So we've got Miss Jen B. and Brittany and Mama Pat, Wolf, Kim Purvis, Matt, that Shay, Benji, of course, was in there.
Luna.
Did I say Wolf already? I can't remember if I said Wolf. Miss Luna. And
I can only scroll so far. That's why I always do it in the beginning and the end because it never lets me scroll all the way down.
Amy Bing jumped in for a bit.
Yeah, I think she's still there. I think she just popped in the top too.
That Brittany gal, she's in there commenting.
She's kind of cool. Kind of like her.
I kind of like her. Get out of my head, woman. People need to stop.
Crazy place to be.
I think I hit everybody, but God knows, because there's again a lot of chat, which is awesome, but
yes,
makes me miss people. So if I missed you, I'm sorry. Thank you. Anyways. I think
if we missed anybody, we got them in the beginning. So that's why I do it both, because I can't scroll. So they're saying in the chat how hot that Briity girl is.
Yeah, that's what I
just saw. They can't even see me. How crazy is that?
Right? Must be a psychic.
I was going to say he must be psychic. You really, Shay. It's scary in here. Don't.
I'm along. I'm at the carnival. I'm along for the ride.
I think I did describe it as that the other night. It's like a roller coaster and a haunted house all wrapped up into one.
Yeah. I was thinking you said carnival and funeral house, so I was close.
Well, that too. That kind of works as well.
Yes. All right, guys. Good night. Thank you. Hold on.
For more information regarding what Paranormal Buzz Radio has to offer, visit our website, paranormalbuzzradio.com. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram.